Live, trance, and prosper. Hi, I'm Professor Brian David Phillips. Welcome to my home. Now let's get to it. Today, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the educational uses of AI. And I'd like to start off by saying, don't make these mistakes. Here are several mistakes that some folks make when they attempt to use generative AI. Here are a few reasons why many educators are not fully leveraging what generative AI has to offer in automating parts of their workflow. I'm thinking specifically in terms of educators who work in the field of teaching English as a foreign language or English and American literature, because that's what I do. But this could apply to all educators, and honestly, it could apply to pretty much anyone. One, don't be a hammer looking for a nail. We often see with what we often see with English as a foreign language professionals is, and education in general, is when folks hear about AI, generative AI, they get excited about the new technology. The excitement, however, often leads to a scenario where, without considering their core priorities and challenges, folks try to find any possible way to implement AI. It's as if generative AI could be a magical wand to solve all their problems. Instead of starting with a broad, hopeful gaze at generative AI, it's crucial to first outline what the problems and priorities are. Ask yourself, what are our top 3 key educational strategic priorities? On a day-to-day or week-to-week basis, what challenges am I facing in executing these strategic priorities? Once you have those listed, you can then make a more informed decision on whether generative AI or other forms of AI, Excel spreadsheets, PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, whatever tool you have at hand, is the right solution to those problems. So to wrap up this point, don't be a hammer looking for a nail. Identify your problems first, and then see if generative AI is even a viable solution. Keep in mind, AI is advancing, and it is advancing quickly. And so your decisions today are decisions for today. The future, yeah, that's is so bright, I gotta wear shades. The future may be different, and always keep abreast of your changing challenges as well as the changing tools that are becoming available. 2, misidentifying the problem type. Once you've identified your set of challenges, it's important to differentiate between what is ultimately a process issue versus problems that can be solved through automation, AI, generative AI, or some other way. The reality is that attempting to use AI to fix what is essentially a process or organizational problem is like putting a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. Oh, Band-Aid. That doesn't work. You need medical attention. You need attention. So make sure you know what's going on. The reality is, attempting to use AI to fix those problems, that's a Band-Aid when you need something else more substantial. AI won't address the core issue. A process restructure will. And that's difficult because I don't know about you folks, but I've been a professional educator for, well over 3 decades, quite a bit over 3 decades. And dude, structure sucks. Bureaucracy sucks. Education has bureaucracy that really screws us all over. Change comes slowly, but sometimes it's obvious change needs to occur in the process and the structure of the thing. Okay, a typical example of something that isn't quite what people think it might be course or homework review processes. The inefficiency of course review or homework review often stem from how the process is structured. Okay, my first year in Taiwan, I taught at a junior college where all of our homework had to be graded in our offices and then given to a supervisor who checked to make sure we had graded our homework, our student homework, correctly. That sucks. That's very inefficient, and it's also kind of insulting, and it's a dick move. But some bureaucrat thought that would be the way we make sure we hire good teachers. No, you just hired people who go through hoops and do all that. It's a terrible process. Make changes to those. I believe they have done so. I no longer teach at that school. I teach at a university, very different. The inefficiencies in homework review can be addressed with the AI. But while AI can streamline certain aspects, it cannot compensate for fundamental organizational flaws. So as you review your list of problems and priorities, remember to ask yourself, is automating the process merely a superficial solution to a deeper underlying issue? Are you addressing structural problems? 3, AI literacy, a significant barrier to fully taking advantage of what tech AI, including generative AI, has to offer in process automation is a lack of literacy. It's about understanding which tools are useful for what purposes and when they might be overkill. For some tasks, a simple spreadsheet is probably enough. In other instances, generative AI might not be the appropriate solution, but learning models might be. Given the rapid evolution in the industry, both the education industry at large and AI, I encourage teachers to educate themselves on the basics of generative AI and AI in general. Understanding the distinctions can help you more and accurately determine which tools are best suited for your particular problem set and your priorities. Learn what's happening, what's going on. And I've had conversations with so many folks, and I've been in meetings where we're going to make a policy for our department. And there are folks who misunderstand the potential of AI. Either they're overstating or they're understating. They've maybe had 1 or 2 experiences with it, and their experiences either blew them away, so positive, so awesome, or it's underwhelming, and that colors their experiences. 4, managing your expectations amidst the hype. There's a lot of hype surrounding AI. It's common for folks to have inflated expectations. They might believe AI will be a silver bullet for all the problems without the need for additional data processing or infrastructure changes or structural change at all. And using AI is a structural change, hint, hint, hint. When the results don't meet their lofty expectations, some folks have disillusionment, and that sets in, And that can really be an issue. Disillusionment stems from a misunderstanding of AI's specific applications and the level of accuracy needed for different tasks, like using multiple formulas and spreadsheets to achieve a specific outcome. AI can be one tool among many in a toolkit to achieve a desired result. So if your initial attempts with generative AI haven't yielded the outcomes you hoped for, consider whether a deeper understanding of the problem and a comprehensive approach to applying the technical tools might lead to better success. Some folks don't know how to prompt well, so they give AI a short, non-specific request and they get insufficient results. Okay, I've developed a number of GPTs in OpenAI's Plus system. I've developed GPTs there, and I've also done a few under Hugging Face in their assistance program. If it's something I want students to be able to use, I will eventually port it to Hugging Face. But honestly, between you and me and the walls and the world, because this is a video going on YouTube, I really find that OpenAI's GPT system is superior to the assistance program, but under Hugging Face. But that's partly, it's based on, in OpenAI, I can put in a knowledge base files, whereas Hugging Face, I can't. But it's also the models. I mean, GPT-4 is an excellent model. That LLM is very, very powerful and worthwhile. While on Hugging Face, you have to decide which model you use, and you might choose one that's insufficient to the task you're using. But hey, it's free. And so if I want my students to use it to develop questions over readings, I'll have them do that, use that, rather than asking them to pay a subscription for ChatGPT-4. And that's just the way it is. So consider deeper understanding of problems and have a more comprehensive approach in applying your tools. And always reiterate, never accept the results at face value. Always check and give it a go. And speaking of giving it a go, 5, give it a fair go. Some folks give AI a go, but they don't actually give it a fair go. Perhaps they played with ChatGPT once, but weren't impressed by the result. Oh, it's so slowly. And the results they saw, so they set it aside with the idea that it's just useless. I know of one writing instructor who is convinced that generative AI can't help his students improve their writing. And it'll, in fact, slow their progress because he's only seen students ask the chatbot to write papers for them or correct their writing, but without telling them how to telling them how to fix the writing mistakes so that they can learn from it. Instead, they just say, fix that, and they hand it in. So that particular teacher forbids the students from ever using ChatGPT for anything. Well, you will not use it, you silly students. I have spoken. However, I know another writing teacher who teaches his, and this is same university, same program, and he teaches his students not only to use ChatGPT, but how to use it so that it explains their mistakes in a way that encourages and allows them to learn to be better writers. And he's developed a useful rubric and process that makes his job as an instructor easier while accelerating student progress. And he has the students save their chat records so he can check and make sure that they're actually following a process that encourages real learning. But it also cuts down on his need to be the, you used past participle here in an incorrect way. I'm just going to put some red ink there. He doesn't have to check all those grammar mistakes the way he used to. ChatGPT can do that. can help the students improve as long as they're following a process. So it's made his job as an instructor easier and accelerates his student progress. One teacher says, you may not use the chatbot. And the other one's like, dude, use chatbot. Here's how you use it. And you're going to get so much better. And if you compare the writing from those two students from those two classes, well, this is a YouTube channel about AI, so I'm pretty sure you have an idea which side's going to be better. So, those are 5 reasons on why some educational professionals may struggle to harness the full potential of generative AI and other technologies. I hope you have found this helpful. I hope that you didn't think it sucked too much, but I hope you did find it helpful. And please click the likey, click the subscribe, share, all that other stuff. If you hated the video, well, no, just keep it to yourself. If you love the video, or if you have, I don't care if you love it or hate it, that's up to you. I hope that you found it useful. Feel free in the comments below. Tell me how you're using AI with your students. If you're not an educator, how are you using it in your life? But be that as it may, this is me, Professor Brian David Phillips, saying, live trans and prosper. Bye-bye.